this is prestige in
It's
the
gonna be
place.
it's definitely gonna be nice.
I got some good friends that like to come out this way. They like to come out here and they like to smoke. So, and I like to keep them in a nice hidden place.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely like I said, from what I hear, what they're gonna do at the top is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be upscale, more upscale than this area have ever had before. So
Okay.
yeah.
To have rooftop is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, bring it just in just a little bit because I can hear you. Yeah. It should be able to swerve around. Unless I tighten it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I finally got you in the place, man.
All right. Man, it's good to be here.
Man.
It's good to be here.
I from the moment you said you wanted to come on, I've been thinking about this interview.
Okay.
And I wanted to go back to when you introduce yourself. You just like, yeah, I'm a shepherd.
Shepherd.
And that always stuck with me because when you start naming all the other stuff, I was just like, okay, but that was the one that made it like so interesting to get to know you, because most black people, when they go into a profession, and not just the profession themselves, but even the title and the things that they do have to sound sexy, exciting, and
Bossy.
and bossy.
Yeah.
And when you say I'm a shepherd, you're thinking, wait, biblical shepherd? And then when you say, I was just like, okay, yeah, I got to sit down with you to find out the interest in that profession. So let's go to the beginning, man. You're from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago, born and raised. My father was from Chicago. My grandfather's Chicago. Both sides. I had both my mom and my dad. I come from a very, I don't call it weird. It's just a upbringing that's just different. My mom and dad, they known each other since 12, 13 years old. My mother was from a Baptist pastor's. She was a Baptist pastor's daughter. My father was the son of one of the, I guess you call him one of the only black guys in Chicago that dealt with the Italian mob on the street level. So, so them two together made me. So they were together for years since they were teenagers. Lived down the street from each other, and had me in 1978, and we just started rolling from there. They just started creating a Frankenstein. A Frankenstein.
So what was it like growing up in Chicago during that time?
Well, it's a little different. It was a little different for me. My mom went to the Air Force.
Okay.
My mom went to the Air Force. My dad went to prison. While she was in the Air Force, my dad got out of prison. We had already moved out to New Orleans.
Okay.
And my dad moved out to New Orleans. They end up getting married in New Orleans, having I have siblings. They're twins. So we end up having my two brothers. Shout out to my brothers, Aaron and Ellen. Agnews. Then I moved back to Chicago with my grandparents while they were kind of like trying to balance with all of that. So I was able to see a couple of different things, living with my grandmother, a lot of cousins, that type of thing in the streets. This is back when we used to go to the park and do the recreational shows, and we were flipping and doing all type of gymnastics at the gym at the park. We were outside in the rain playing hide and go get it, and that type of thing. We grew up in Chicago. We went swimming in the park. We rode our bikes for the majority of the day. When street lights came on, we was home.
A lot of that is what was going on in the South as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the same culture. Like, that's what we was doing. Like, street lights come on, time to get in the house, run and go get it, hide and go get it, all those type of things. So, yeah, we're the same age. So, we was going through the same thing. Yeah.
Chicago was nice. You learn a lot of stuff real early. Of course, you see death real early. I saw death really early on the streets. Probably was 9-10 years old. You start seeing a lot of different cultures. Chicago is a melting pot. And when I say a melting pot, you have the Latin community here. You have a lot of black communities there. You have an Irish community here. Polish, and you go on and on. So you run into a lot of culture in Chicago. And if you're not, how do I say this? If you don't explore Chicago, you'll miss the value that's in it.
Okay.
And the value is in the culture.
Okay. So is it north or south side Chicago?
So I'm from the south side of Chicago,
Okay.
but you have those pockets are all over. Okay. South suburbs. Everybody have their pockets where you have your communities. It's totally diverse, man.
Okay.
Totally diverse. So Chicago is my place. I love Chicago, but then you grow out of spaces.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's
So are you a chef, or you just love to cook, or like where did it start?
So we moved to New Orleans with my great aunt. She's my great aunt, Pearl Cooper, down in New Orleans. Went out there, and when I say she cooked, I was 5 and 6 years old making stuffed bell peppers, gumbo from scratch. She's teaching us how to cook, and just really, I think that's where my palate came in.
Okay.
I'm not a chef. I thought about going to culinary school when I left the military.
Okay.
It didn't turn out. But I love to cook. I put things together, man.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's a drink or some food. If it's a cigar with a good piece of food, that's what I do. But I'm not a chef.
Okay.
I'm a shepherd.
Okay.
I'm a shepherd.
So you're in New Orleans and you learn how to cook. When did the shepherd part, like, is that something where you was young and was like, you know what, I want to get into the lamb, like, lamb farming, or like what was? No,
nothing like that. What ended up happening was, we had horses when we lived in Alabama.
Okay.
I had an uncle, my favorite uncle in the world. Well, again, a great uncle. I was raised by the greats. Great grandfather, great grandmother, that type of thing. My uncle Erman Fleming, he had horses, he had goats, he had chickens. And at the time, I was the only kid down there by myself. And so I got used to these animals. Went through my military time, came home to Chicago, had kids. Had a buddy who was like, "Hey man, let's go. Let me take you to go check out my horse." I was like, "You got a horse? Let's go." His name was Steve. All right, Steve, let's go. Me and Steve go out to Glenwood, see his horse, and at the stable they had 3 horses for sale. Someone just like, "Hey, we're not paying no more. We're not coming back. Leave the horses." And the lady was like, I'll give you one for $500. So $500, I can do that. So I bought a $500 horse. And then my kids was like, "We want a horse. We want to ride too." Well, there's another horse there. We get another $500 horse. My mom was, she was a travel agent, a travel nurse, worked for the agency, and she was in California. She came home. She was like, "I want a horse too." So we ended up having 3 horses there, because we all just wanted horses. We went from riding in the woods to just going to shows, doing everything. I was able to get some property in Chicago Heights, and one day I was just like, I want chickens. I want to have my own eggs. So I went and got me a bunch of chickens, built me a chicken coop right on my property, and start giving eggs away. I'm giving eggs to my neighbors. My mom, when she came home, I ended up giving her eggs. It was just, that was the thing that I liked. I realized that just watching the chickens and seeing how they grow, it really did something for me in the peace space, in the space of my peace. And I decided, hey, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to go buy me a farm in Georgia. It was either Georgia or Tennessee.
Okay.
Went to Nashville, hated it.
Oh, okay.
I hated it. I hated it because I needed more culture, and they weren't cultured enough. So they needed to be more cultured for me to be there.
White people.
Well, it was, and I adore it.
Country.
Yeah. I mean, we call it what it is. We black, they're white. I have white friends. I have great white friends. My great grandfather was white. So, so I come from the space, but the culture that I needed was this. I need to see successful black people who network together, and the atmosphere said black excellence.
Yes.
So I had family here in Georgia, and I decided I'm going to Georgia with my family.
Okay.
So I came here about 3 years ago, and I started seeing everything around here. I looked at 22 houses in like 2 days.
Really?
And by the time I got back home, I chose my house, chose my farm, and that's what I went with.
So, was it a natural thing for you to fit in when you got here, or was it like a culture? Well, I won't say. Well, you say you already had family down here, so you already knew what was the temperature of everything when you got here.
I'm a chameleon, I guess. I can adapt to wherever I go, but I'm really a loner.
Really?
Really a loner. As much as I talk, man.
Yeah.
You put me out with a group, and I love people. Yeah. I love great conversation. I love the authenticity of people. So you put me in a space, I'm gonna talk. But most of the time, I like being by myself, being with my lady, being with my kids, being with my mother, my grandmother. Just have quiet time, hangout time.
So the becoming I guess you could say farmer. It started out of just a hobby. It was just a thing that you love to do to relax.
It was a hobby. It was me watching my chickens from my upstairs window.
That's pretty cool.
Going through like the winter time and still getting eggs. Just seeing how they grew, and just was like, man, I think I could do more. I think I could get back to Uncle Ermin, and where Uncle Ermin had the goats.
Yeah,
we had the horses, we had the chickens. My great grandmother lived in Sullivan, Alabama, down in Lamar County. It's about this big, and I used to crawl under their house to get eggs.
Okay.
So I want to get back to that, and it does me well, man.
So was Chicago not allowing you to have that peace, or it was just like, I just need to go somewhere where I can expand and be a little bit more like expanded a little bit bigger?
I tell people that I've lived about 9 lives.
Okay.
Actually, I told my son the other day I'm on life 11, and I probably have another 5 to go. Okay. I wanted change.
Okay.
The environment needed to change. I've seen too much in Chicago. I've had too much loss in Chicago. I wanted to reestablish the culture for our family. When I came down, I brought my mother and my grandmother. They lived 7 minutes away from me. My sons came down. First, my younger son, he came with me, and then they're both adults. And then my older son came down with his then girlfriend and grandson of mine. So they came down, and it just established something different for us.
Okay.
So now there's a place for the family to come back, and now we don't have the family in Sullivan, Alabama anymore. You know,
everybody migrated here.
Somewhat. The elders passed.
Okay.
So now you don't have that. Everybody go to Thanksgiving down there. Everybody go out there for the summertime. You have, how do we reestablish us sitting around the table laughing?
Right.
And I wanted to do that here.
Okay. So when did the idea for the lamb come in? Because I definitely want to, like you said, you shepherd.
Okay. I came here to have a farm. I said I want goats. I can make some goat meat, man. I throw some goat together and it's great. I sat down, had a chance to talk with a guy. He's into the agriculture space and very smart brother. And he said to me, I want to help you here. He said, I know you want to do goats. He said, but you're going to lose a lot of money with goats only because of their character.
Okay.
I'm a character guy. He said, you'll get what you need from sheep.
Okay.
He said, and once you go sheep, he started showing me the numbers. He was like, the numbers say, you get up to $23 per pound on sheep. And he said, you won't waste as much money trying to keep them in, because goats, they will escape. They love to escape. There's a lot of guys on TikTok. You see their goats like standing on somebody in the neighbor's cars and stuff like that. Like, get back there, get over here, Billy, that type of thing. You don't want that.
Okay.
So the sheep, he kind of changed my mind into it, and I started researching it and saw how much I could do. And then I'm from Chicago. We call them gyros. I like gyro meat, and gyro meat is lamb. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I can create my own gyro. And then as time went on, I started doing a little cooking here and there. I came up with, I love this burger. This is what I'm gonna do. And I brought all my skills into making a burger and just kind of said, I'm doing lamb.
So one of the things that you had mentioned when you was here was that you wanted to introduce Georgia to Chicago cuisine of lamb and stuff like that. So what is so down here, like people eat lamb chops, like they crazy about lamb. Me and my wife took her uncle and his girlfriend to a place last night, and lamb chop was on the menu. Like any place you go that's like black upscale, they got lamb chops on there. So what's the difference that you're gonna introduce that they haven't tasted before?
Well, I don't think that. So I'm not going to introduce. It'd probably be a reintroduction.
Okay.
To what we can do with lamb outside of lamb chops.
Okay.
Lamb chops. When we grew up, we didn't eat lamb chops. My granddaddy got lamb chops. We'll get pork chops. We ain't getting lamb chops because up in Chicago, lamb chops was like, that's like filet mignon in the hood. Lamb chops. So, for me, I'd rather introduce the different portions of the lamb and do different flavors with it and different cuts of it and put them in different recipes so people see that lamb is a very rich, great meat that you can do a lot with. And I love Georgia. Georgia, for me, they have some great food places. But like Chicago, I come from a place that's a melting pot. So I would go to a restaurant up north called Cuba 312. And they were Cuban cuisine, and their food was authentic. The empanadas were authentic, but it gave you a different taste. And that's all I want to bring out here. Introduce something different, something that's authentic, something that I love, I'm passionate about. I'm going to take your lamb meat from lamb chops to lamb sirloins or lamb chili.
Yeah, like we had. Oh my god, man, that was really fulfilling. Like you didn't even bring that much.
I didn't,
but it was still like you. I feel full, like from the sliders, and just I think it was only maybe two, 3 spoonfuls of just a and I still felt like I ate a whole meal. The reason why, and I portion it like that, I've gotten older. And I'm going into a space where we talked about it. I want to be a little more health conscious. Okay.
I don't want to stuff myself to where I have to go to sleep after I eat.
Right.
I've lived with the itis my whole life. I don't want to live like that. I still want to be able to move around. So small portions of lamb is so rich. Like that's how people can get away with the lamb chops because lamb is rich.
Yeah.
If I bring you lamb sliders, lamb chili, incorporate that into your meals, you're gonna get a rich, healthy food, and that lamb is very healthy. So, just want to bring something different.
Man, when you said you was gonna bring something through and just tell me what you was making, I was just like, ooh,
it's interesting.
Ooh, okay, yeah, definitely bring that through here.
The jerk lamb burger is what I brought you with we made our own mayo. We call it sauce here. So I made it's called Jerk It All sauce.
Yeah.
You can put it on anything. Like Frank's Red Hot, you can put that on anything. It's a good little dipping sauce for catfish and all that too.
Definitely when y'all bottle that up and start selling that, I can see y'all that's gonna go. Like that's gonna go.
Man, you get me excited.
That is really gonna go here, especially here.
Georgia loves sauces. I didn't know that. Didn't know it.
And spicy.
Yeah.
They love sauces. They love spicy. Like, I mean, I remember back in the day, just people with the hot wings, I'm talking about so hot that their eyes are watering.
Whew.
And I was just like, how can you stand that? And me, I'm not a spicy eating person, but I had to try that. And I was just like, you know what? I can eat this.
It didn't beat you.
Because some people, they go overboard. They like, we gotta, like when I eat my wings, I usually go to lemon pepper or no sauce at all.
Okay.
Because I just like for my wings to be really crispy.
Okay. All right.
And so the lemon pepper is the only that's dry rub that don't just drizzle with a whole bunch of sauce. I want to still be able to taste the chicken as well.
You want to taste the chicken?
Yeah. And so that right there, I was just like, oh man, I can see myself dipping that in fries.
I appreciate that.
Oh, I want to dip that in some fries.
Well, you know what? You said something, and I know he's gonna see this. One of my brothers, very very good guy. I call him Franco, but he's also a farmer out here. I take my meat to his processing plant. He has his own processing plant, so he processed my meat, my lamb meat. I want to work within a network. I was on my way here. He said, "You know what you should have did? You should have put together some of your good fries, a good sweet potato fry.
Oh yes.
I said, man,
yes.
I am a guy who loves to go right to the source. Here's a burger. And you can put whatever you want to with it.
Yeah.
It's a side.
Yeah.
I want to introduce you to a new entree. He said, "Oh, but them burgers with them fries have been great." And then you sit here and say, "Man, they would have been good with some fries."
Dip it in some
He's
fries,
gonna eat
man.
me alive. He's gonna eat me alive.
Definitely with some fries, because that's how I eat. Well, like when I order my chicken wings with fries, when they ask for ranch or blue cheese, I ask for ranch. I don't stick the chicken in the ranch. I stick my fries in there.
Man, I am a French fry-aholic.
Me too.
Cut me some fry. When I was in the Air Force, I used to come home on lunch and eat cut French fries every single day. I want 3 full potatoes, cut, fried, eat my fries, ketchup, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Yeah. I'm going back to work.
Because to me, that's like, I'm not a big plate of person, like sitting down eating big plate of food. Yeah. I just always snack a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's why fries and stuff like that are like, okay, I just and then want some done.
And now you're gonna have me doing marketing with French fries being dipped into the sauce and all type of stuff. I like it.
A big potato steak fry.
Really? Man, I'm a crispy around the edges, thin cut type of fry guy.
Yeah, me too.
Like yeah. Give me that.
I don't like those little skinny fries.
Not the shoestrings.
No. Give me a nice thick,
potato fry.
Yes,
I like it,
and just scoop it up like a spoon.
I found some restaurants here that hit my French fry palate, and I'll drive all the way out to Hateville for.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What restaurant is that?
It's called, I think it's Hateville Tavern or something like that. Tavern, and they have a good smoked wing.
Okay.
A good smoked wing and a good fry. And I drive there on a Friday night just to go
to have that.
Man, give me some French fries and chicken wings. I'm good.
Man, that's all I need right there.
All day.
So you also have you have a really strong business sense. That was one of the things that you was breaking down stuff in here from the moment you stepped in. And so you say you had a degree, like
I have an MBA.
MBA.
Yeah.
So what was that journey like for that? So it was the farm and then MBA, or was it MBA then farm? Like what was?
So I went to the Air Force and I came home early because I had gotten hurt, and they allowed me to come home and I can live a life as a retired person. Okay. Once I came home, they put me back through school and said, hey, whatever you want to do it. Okay. I got injured, so the first thing I was like, I love to cook. Mm-hmm. I'm going to culinary art school. They was like, I don't think that's good for you. You've been injured and you need to do something where you can really, culinary arts would cause you to move around too much, and it will bring you, I don't think you'll have a long life with it. And they were right. Really? They made good decisions, helped me make good decisions. And I ended up going to school, went to business school. I'd already had a aerospace engineering degree. Okay. And I went to business school, got my MBA, and I just started doing work in Chicago. I was going through school, had a buddy. I'm always gonna shout out my guys because I think people should hear their names when you hear a success story, to let them know that you were valuable when I was growing, right? And you're still valuable to me now. I had a good friend. His name is Charles Rush. Great guy. He was a pastor at the church I was at, one of the elders. And I'm working. And I had 3 kids at the time, and I'm trying to figure out like how to still feed them and go to school and everything. And Charles Rush came to me and was like, hey, you want to deliver some packages? He was the regional transportation manager for UPS. Okay. They were doing supply chain. And I was like, man, yes. So I went out. He was paying me 85 cents a mile. I was like, okay, use my own car. Right. Pick up packages, for IBM.
Just a courier.
Just a courier. Just go out there and make some money. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. Tell me where we go. Sweet. So Charles came to me and say, hey, you want to make some money? I'm like, yeah, I'll make some money. Mm-hmm. He was like, I got a courier position for you. He was the regional transportation manager for UPS supply chain. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. I went out there with my car, started making money, 85 cents per mile. So much work, the dispatch is calling me. I can't keep up. I go to Charles. I was like, hey, is there a way that I can let somebody else use my number while I'm sleeping or something? I said, because they keep calling me. He said, here's what I do for you. He said, if you can create a company, I'll give you a contract. I said, okay.
Like your own business?
My own business.
Okay.
He said, I'll give you a contract. I said, okay. So we, probably a week, 2 weeks later, a whole day. This is when Craigslist was big. Went on Craigslist, put up a job posting. Told them that I want them to, I'm looking for drivers. Get 33 drivers in one night. On a Bible class night, on a Wednesday night, we were having church in a hotel. So I staged to have interviews there at the hotel in the lobby. 33 people come through. I have 33 drivers available. I get to Charles the next day, tell him, this is what was going on. He said, that was your people in the lobby? Because it was at church. I was like, yeah, those were my people. He said, so you got drivers? I said, I got drivers. He went, at the time I was making 85 cents per mile. He wrote me out a contract. I ended up making $1.23 per mile. And I said, I got enough drivers to where I don't have to be greedy, but they can be paid. I paid everybody $1 per mile. I took the 23 cents.
Okay.
And I had drivers making $1,700 a week.
That's real noble of you, because most companies would do the opposite. Like, no, you take the 23, we'll take the $1.
I'm gonna say this, without trying to be pretentious. I grew up in a mindset. My father was a high-ranking gang member. Drugs was involved, selling drugs, all that stuff. So I learned how to make a dime into $1. And I realized that if I'm the one with $1, the moment that I'm not able to work, all I'm getting is 23 cents.
Yeah.
So I switched it around and I gave it to them, the 23 cents, because they can run a lot more than me. And all I did, I get on my phone and start hitting dispatch. I went from having a courier service to running their FSL, their warehouses, during the close down times. And I mean, it went from one warehouse to 4 warehouses, going around the city of Chicago, Kentwood, Michigan, helping with projects all over America. And it did real well.
Okay.
That was my success story for business in Chicago. And from there, I couldn't stop. Every time I thought about something, it was, how do I get 23 cents out of $1.23 contract again?
Okay.
So 2018, sold the rest of the company that I had left. A lot of Uber and all that kind of cut you down real good when it comes to courier services.
Really?
Yeah. So downtown Chicago, Uber got in, they started putting their people in, and now they can give a contract that's lower than what the mom and pops will give. So of course, because they have the contracts where they're underbidding, and they have a plethora of drivers all across the platform, they take over. Yeah. So that's what ended up happening. So at 40 years old, I tell everybody, at 40 years old, I retired again. At 40. And I decided I'm going to go out the country. I'm going to fly around on my birthdays. I'm going to travel. I'm just going to have a good time. And that's what I've been doing.
So selling the company, you made a nice bit of change.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It's okay. It's never going to be comparable to when you were in your heydays of the business. And that I guess I can say I'm not chasing it, but I know that that's a goal that I've hit, and I know I can attain it again.
So you found that to be natural when you was like putting together this business and stuff, like it was just a natural thing.
Yeah. I had to stop being afraid to talk to people. I had to stop being that dark skinned, big nose, big lip, nappy head little boy that the girls didn't like back in the 80s because you wasn't light skinned with the curly hair.
So you made that money, you started stunting like they said?
I ain't even stunt. You know what I'm saying? I did buy a Jaguar, but
you just silently stunted.
I appreciated my success, and I did it quietly.
Right.
I've never been a stunner. I've never been a person who want to be flashy. I had struggle figuring out what I was going to put on today. This is my usual. Right. But I'm a Chicago guy.
Right.
I'll put on my Chicago Sox hat. Right. I'll put on a polo. I'm put on my Jordans. Whatever. I'm a sneakerhead.
Wow.
I decided to go with the Jordan 18s today. I'm a sneakerhead. So I struggle with being in front of people like that, trying to be flashy. This space that I'm in right now, I give all glory to God with it. I'm a God guy.
Okay.
So where I am right now, even in business, I don't wake up in the morning without talking to God.
Okay.
I don't talk to anybody before I talk to God.
Okay.
Before I get my day started and even look at my cell phone, I'm talking to God.
Okay.
And that's where I asked, like, I had to tap into, I was ordained years ago.
Oh, really?
I was ordained, I was a youth pastor. I was a minister years ago. And I started having to go back to where I came from because it was important for me to know my purpose.
Okay.
Everything that I went through brought me to this space, even to be a shepherd. When I got into the lambs and being a shepherd, I started reading my Bible differently.
It all comes together.
It comes together. If you start reading your Bible and think of your Bible in the space of agriculture, you'll see it totally different. Like when the wheat and the tare are growing together, when you're talking about Brilo, not the ox who's working the fields. You don't want to keep their mouths closed where they can't eat a little bit while they're going. They're working. You need to keep them going. When I started looking at Psalms 23 and breaking down, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and started looking into that space, I really understood more about where God has me. When I wake up in the morning, my prayers are for everybody. I love everybody. I don't have an enemy. I don't have an enemy.
Right. Okay.
People may think I'm their enemy.
Right.
But I think sometimes we establish somebody as a foe when they're not. When there's a disagreement or anything like that.
You know, and just to kind of
yeah,
sideways to that's one of the things about the music that I hate for a lot of these younger people right now, especially the rap music, because everything about most of their songs are all about having ops and you know, I'm ready to not trust people and this and that, so on and so forth. I'm like, man, y'all have no idea what y'all doing to yourselves by constantly, you know, putting that type of thought in your head. Like, how are you supposed to have brotherhood amongst, you know, a stranger or know how to approach a stranger or trust a stranger when the first thing that you're learning is, oh, everybody's an op?
I believe this generation had not truly seen the authentic enemy.
They haven't seen any real pushback from society.
No, I'm from Chicago, and in Chicago growing up, it was a lot different for me. My father was in the Gangster Disciples. Can I have that? Can I use your letter?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. My father was in the Gangster Disciples. I saw a lot of stuff growing up.
Right.
I know what an op is. An op is when I'm gonna get this back to you because I'll steal it. No, it's a great lighter.
Yeah.
Biggie said, "What's beef? Beef is when your mom ain't safe to go in the streets."
Right.
You know, beef is when
Chicago,
I see you.
You saw the real.
I saw the real thing. There were times when my father would tell my mother, they at this time wasn't in the same household. He would say, "Hey, they can't go outside today. They can't come over here. We're living on the south side. My father's over east on 79th and Manistee." He said, "Don't bring them over here now. It's beef." That's real beef. So now when you got guys, these young guys, you establishing beef with guys who's on another coast because they said something that you didn't like.
Right.
That I was, man, sometimes I don't like saying this, but I have to say this because it's a part of my growth where I am, and it's a part of who my father was. So I have to embrace it. My father was a gang member, high ranking, but he raised me under what we call the 1 through 16.
The 1 through 16.
1 through 16. Guys who are up there, guys who are really, and they knew what that meant. That's the literature of a gangster disciple. Okay. He raised me to carry myself as a man under that literature because that's what he knew. His mom was killed at 18 years old.
Okay.
Guy walked in the house, shot his brother in the head, shot my grandmother in the head, killed them.
Oh my God.
My grandfather was in the streets. He did, when you work with
this was a generational thing.
It's a generational thing. That happened March 13th, 1977. March 13th, 1978, I was born. So that's where real beef, comes from. But my father raised me to be a man, to be a guy who, these are the standards that you live by, and this is what you go by. So now when I see guys on the street, say growing up, we had a fight. I didn't fight you and then you beat me up and then I shot you. I took that L, but now every time I see you, it's on. Hey, when I see you, we gonna fight. Oh, okay, cool. If it's in school, we gonna fight. All right, cool. But we wasn't killing each other at the time.
Okay.
So we wasn't establishing these moves where everybody is my op.
Right.
When Biggie and Pac died, it was horrible for me. I'm coming out of high school.
Right.
I'm a Biggie guy. I listened to Pac back then, but I'm a Biggie guy. And I'm like, man, this guy on the East Coast, this guy on the West Coast, why y'all beefing? So now this day, this music, these generations, they don't understand what beef really is. And I hope that they will come out of that place, because in actuality, what they're living in is a traumatic space that they've grown into.
Right.
They're living through trauma. And if anybody had trauma, I had trauma growing up, but you had to look at the trauma differently.
Right.
They're living and embracing their trauma. And they're saying, hey, this is who I am. I'm going to kill you. You come up here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Let me tell you something. I think the same way. If you come on my property and I think that you're going to do me harm, my mind says the same thing. I don't want to take anybody's life, but if it's between me and you, this is what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to put that out there and market that as my character.
Right.
And that's what they're doing, even through their music.
Somebody's going to test you at some point in time. Or
and sometimes you still got to pass that test.
Yeah.
And I've had instances where I had to say, you don't even know. Man. I can put my hands all over you. I can take your life here.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sit here and have a conversation with you, man, and leave it where it is, because I really don't. I want to do this.
That was the thing about manhood growing up, and being in the area, like, and I hate to say this, but it was almost okay for you if you wanted to go in that direction. It'll be okay because, well, grandfather and father went down the same road, so automatically, okay, you're gonna be that way too.
I did.
Oh, okay.
They called me OG Bobby Johnson when I was younger.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna get down. My family, if something happened by my family house, what we call each other's brothers and sisters and my cousins and aunts that I grew up with, they'll say, who called him? Who told him that this was going on? Because they knew when I came, it's going to go one or two ways.
Right.
I'm going to confront you and say, hey, why are you doing this? What's happening with my family? Don't ever do this again. Or it's going to be us. Or it turns into something, more offensive. And I'm glad I was able to grow into a space where more things was like, hey man, let's sit down and talk this out. I
was just about to ask you that. So coming from two generations of that, and you was in it as well, at what point did you like, okay, let me switch this around? Like, what was it, like something defining? Or
yes,
like what was it that made you say, no, I can't go this route?
There's a couple of things. There was a pattern of stuff that was happening. I have some good friends and I love them. We grew up in the streets together. I still love my guys. But I started seeing my friends get killed. One of the people who really, really hurt me when they were killed, his name was Olester Johnson. He was from Robbins, Illinois. One of my ace boom coons. He had gotten killed, and another friend, Horatio, got killed. And I had a neighbor, good friend. His name was Michael Jackson. Mike Jackson got killed, and I started seeing people die.
And how old were you at the time?
I'm in high school.
Okay.
Mike probably died when I was 15.
Okay.
Les when I was 16, 17. Horatio, 16, 17 years old. I'm seeing these people go, and man, it just didn't feel good. And during that time, high school times, my father was in prison through my whole high school from freshman to senior. Okay. So I was raised by his friends, his guys, my mom, of course, and then my grandfathers and everybody, but I embraced his friends, which were also high-ranking guys in the streets. So they took care of me. But man, they started throwing nuggets in my head, and saying, "Hey, Neff, you can't do that. Nephew, wow, I got an uncle named, we call him Old Man. He says to me, even today when I talk to him, he said, you were so wild. He said, I just knew you were going to be in prison or you were gonna be dead. He said, it scared me all the time. He was my dad's best friend. And
he was in the gang also?
He was in the gang, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he said he got out of the gangs, he moved out of state and, changed his life. Those are the things that kind of made me start changing. And then I had my daughter. My daughter when I was 19 years old. And her mom said to me before she had her, she said, I need you to straighten up because her brother was in prison. As a matter of fact, her brother was in prison with my dad in the same place down, I think that was in Galesburg or Vienna, Shawnee, out that way. And she said, I cannot raise her by myself.
Okay.
She said, I need you to straighten up and be right. And I ended up getting a job, working at a car wash, becoming a car wash sales manager, and ended up going into the Air Force.
Okay.
That was the change for me. I didn't want to be that person anymore. I still had a bad temper. I still wasn't able to control myself emotionally. I didn't have enough emotional intelligence at the time.
Right.
Excuse me. As I grew older, it dimmed down a little bit more. I was still a wild child though. Even while I was married for quite some time. And I can think back. I came home from the military. Me and my father had just then started getting close. Me and my father had a bad relationship. He's a rough guy.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4", 360, just a muscular. I tell people my father's ring finger was an 18. He's a huge guy. So,
and he still had that mentality.
He still had the mentality. And one day I was at church, and I got a call. My cell phone kept ringing, and I was like, "What is this number?" And I looked, and I called. Hey, what's going on? It's my father. He said some young guys had jumped him, and he was like, I just want to let you know that I'm okay. I hung up the phone, turned to my then wife and said, hey, something's going on with my dad. I need to leave. Left him at church and I went down to where he was. I was ready to kill for my father because my father would kill for me.
Wow.
Straighten things out there, and him and I started to have a better relationship. This is going to be a little lengthy here, but this goes to the nucleus of who I am right now. My father and I had a very good relationship. My father had started to grow ill, had a heart issue, and I was the guy going to pick him up, take him to the doctor, knew all his medicine. My father's a street urchin. He could hardly read, so I'm doing everything for him, making sure he's taken care of, that type of thing. And one day my father had an appointment and I had an appointment. I hurt my shoulder. And we both had an appointment. So I had to call my younger brother. Hey man, I need you to pick up Dad, take him to his appointment. He was like, okay, cool. I got you. He's my younger brother. We're like 7-8 years apart. Okay. So this day it's snowing like crazy in Chicago. I'm late for my appointment. My father's calling me and he cussed me out. He cussed me out so hard. It took me back to the mindset of when we weren't talking. And he was like, you're supposed to pick me up. And I said, well, my brother's supposed to pick you up. He's on his way. I called my brother. He was like, it's snowing out here. I'm on my way. He won't be late. I got him. Cool. I didn't talk to my father after that. I didn't talk to my father. My father called me. He's calling me for weeks. I won't answer him because I'm living in the trauma and I'm upset from what we used to be.
Right.
And we were having lunch every other day. And now at this point, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to this man.
Right.
My then wife says, you need to answer your dad when he calls. So one day I get home from work, grab my phone. He was calling. Hey, what's up? Man, I've been calling you. Now my father's voice was like Barry White. My father's just
deep,
he's just a gargoyle, Yeah. And he was like, I've been calling you, and you ain't been answering, man. I said, okay. He says, this had to be like January, about the middle of January, because me and him had a time where I was driving home one day and he was just singing to me on the phone. He had been drinking, so he was singing Christmas songs on the way. And I was like, I've never heard my father sing before. I was like, this man is singing. I told Mom, I was like, my daddy could sing. She was like, yeah, he could sing. You'll never hear it, but he'll sing. So he get on the phone with me and he said, man, I want to tell you. He said, I want to apologize to you. And the two things my father's never done, he did that on the phone. He said, I want to apologize to you because I was afraid. Two things my father never showed was any type of humility when to be apologetic. What I did is what I did, and he's never ever said he was afraid of anything. Okay. And he said I was apologized because I was afraid, and I wanted to. He said I thought I was gonna miss my appointment. He said I don't feel good. I'd be feeling sick and da. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, because I'm still pissed off at my father. Okay. Like you burned everything that we ever had. With this, the way you talk to me.
Yeah.
And, all right, whatever. Okay, cool. All right, thanks. Hung up the phone. He called. Now, mind you, we're eating lunch every other day. I don't answer him. I'm getting calls, still not answering him. One day I'm in my office in Chicago, and I was working for a cable company at the time, and I was sitting in the office, and I got a call from my great aunt. Man, what's going on? Hey, why haven't you been over there to see your daddy? I said, I'm not dealing with him right now, And he did it. She said, well, they're gonna turn him over to the state. I said, huh? She said, your father's been in the hospital. I said, huh?
Whoa.
She said, your father's in the hospital. This is in February. That's how long I haven't spoken to him. Your father's in the hospital. They have him into a coma. He's in a coma. Oh my God. He's like, and they're gonna turn him over to the ward of state because we can't deal with him. He said they need his next of kin. I dropped what I was doing, told my manager, hey, this is going on. He said, go. I leave, I go down to the hospital. By the way, one of the worst hospitals ever known to Chicago, Jackson Hospital. I'm always going to tell people. I go to the hospital and I see my father laying in a bed, 6'4" frame, huge. And I get to the doctors and they said, he's having problem with oxygen. I said, well, he also has a heart condition. And I'm talking with them. They say, no, he don't have a heart condition. I said, I take him to the doctor. He has a heart condition. And, we went back and forth. They said he needs a tracheotomy. Now, he had already had a trach, but he's so large that he's in the bed. You can't even see it. So I go over to him and he's still comatose. And I said he has a trach. It's just, it needs to be cleaned or whatever. So the doctors called everybody and they looked. It was like, perfect. We can do surgery for him. And, we'll get him back to health, And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, I could have been here. I didn't answer his calls. They set up his surgery for, if this was a Monday, I'll say they set it up for a Wednesday. I called my mom, told her what's happened. She was still in California. And I waited for that surgery. That Wednesday morning, I go in. My father's still in a coma. But it's medically induced. So they have him in this coma because they need his blood pressure to stay down and all this stuff. And I went to my father and I was like, man, I'm so sorry, bro. He's in a coma. I'm like, man, when you get out of here, that's enough. You're going to come and live with me. I'm going to take care of you. I'm talking to my father was a size 15 shoe. He's just a massive guy. And I'm talking to him and I'm touching him. And my father was not a touchy guy. As a matter of fact, we used to joke, me and my younger brothers, he'll be working on a car with his friends, and me and my brother jump out and we'll hug on him and we'll kiss on me. He stop being gay on me, get off of me, that type of thing.
That masculinity.
He loved it. So I'm touching my dad and I rub his foot. I don't touch feet. Yeah. But I'm in a space right now. I'm like, man, I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
And the lady came in and she said, hey, you need to go downstairs and fill out his paperwork so we can do the surgery. And I'm like, cool. Hey, Dad, I got you. I go downstairs. I'm doing paperwork. And this guy came down. He said, hey, go check on your dad, man. I said, man, I've been up there. He said, no, man, go check on. I said, I've been up there. He said, little bruh, go upstairs and check on your dad right now. Go. I run up the stairs. They have the defibrillator. They're trying to bring him back. And at that time, my dad's dead. He's dying. And my heart is stopping. I'm losing it. I'm turning into this guy who I was. I became violent. Yeah. No, y'all can't stop. Y'all got to keep going. Right. They kept going for about 7-8 minutes. They put me out the room and the doctor came out and said, sir, we have to stop. I grabbed the doctor and I threw him on the wall. I'm ready to fight this man. No, you killed my dad. Ooh. So my dad ended up dying at the time. Mm-hmm. I wrestled with that for 10 years. Mm-hmm. He died in 2009. Mm-hmm. Not until 2019 was I set with myself where I said, okay, you weren't the one that killed him. Mm-hmm. Where I walk now, since that time, is a space of humility and forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna have an issue with you if I love you.
Right.
I'm gonna state my problem. I'm gonna forgive you, and then we're gonna change the trajectory of this relationship. But I'm a forgiving person now.
Right.
So where I was the guy who I'm gonna beat you down, I may even shoot you back when I was a teenager.
Right.
To walking around like an animal, a pit bull now.
Right.
To, hey man, listen, I know me and you had some beef, but let's talk this out.
Right.
Because we got more to live for.
Right.
One of my favorite people right now is Mike Tyson. He's my all-time favorite athlete in the world. Mike Tyson.
Why is that?
I seen Mike Tyson when he was a goon.
Yeah.
You remember I think he had a fight with a guy named Mitch Green.
Mitch Green.
Oh yeah, he popped Mitch Green in the eye, and they made little jokes about
Steve
it.
Made the legendary dope. Yeah.
And now when you see Mike Tyson, even the fights that he have now, he said, I can't. When he decided to retire, he said, I can't do this no more.
Right.
He said, I just don't have it in me. He said, I don't hate people like I did. You know, so now I'm walking in my older Mike Tyson era, where it's like, man, I'd rather show you love and show you how I was wrong. Yeah. You know, and let's fix this.
And that's the thing that I pray for a lot of younger people, the ones that never got to experience that the beef and the hate that you have, it goes away. If you live long enough, you'll learn a lesson that it wasn't even that serious. It wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? Have you ever gone to therapy or anything to help with your father's?
I'm in therapy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a therapist. I see every week because it's important for me. Not even on just my side. I have been diagnosed with hypervigilance, which means my anxiety is all the way up. Okay. You've been through so many things violently and throughout your life that you have hypervigilance and PTSD. So hypervigilance says, and this is how I explain it to people, anything that can happen will happen and is happening. So even if it's not happening, if I feel like it's happening. It's happening. Okay. So I had to get that under control so that I can be good in a relationship. So I can be good to my mom and my grandmother. So I can be this patriarch for my family after my grandfather passed. I got to be able to show love in a different way. Right. My children, I had to be different with that. So that's where I'm now. I'm gonna talk to my therapist every week, or I'm gonna be at a deficit. So therapy is key for me. Yeah. When I'm in therapy, I'm a totally different person.
It's funny because I always come back to this subject whenever I talk to another black man, because the last interview I did was talking with him, and the same thing of him being in therapy because of all the things that he went through younger and being in the streets and stuff like that, and just trying to really promote that, we as black men, and not just older black men, but trying to advocate for younger black men, like in your 20s and 19 and stuff like that. Like, talk to someone, even if it's not therapy. Get it out. Like, talk to somebody that can, like, it just to for you to release that air. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to go to someone and tell them all your business to try and get an answer, but at least get some of that hot air out of you. Because sometimes it's just a matter of you saying it out loud will make you sit back and like, oh, what did I just say? And you can work it out yourself.
You can.
For a lot of times. And so, really advocating that, like, definitely talk it out to people, man. Like,
but going back to something that you said before, they're putting a lot of stuff in their music. Yeah. And this is the way that they're voicing what they're thinking, what they're going through. If you took that platform, music is pure. I'm a music holic. I play instruments play up 5 instruments. I'm a music holic. I sing, but I realized that music allows you to release a whole lot of emotions. And when we get away from the emotions, then we can start thinking logical. Right. But if we take our emotions and bottle it up and only articulate ourselves through music, you're gonna hear an angry person. Right. You're gonna hear Tupac going from Brenda's Got a Baby and Dear Mama to Hit 'Em Up.
Hit 'Em Up, yeah.
You're gonna hear the angry Tupac, in opposed to the one who said, I've been writing all this time. I've been a background dancer for Digital Underground all this time. And this is who I am, and I love black people. And I want to stand up for my rights, to this person who's been through the industry and seen so much. And now he's like, I'm gonna kill you. You know.
And see, I think going to the Tupac thing, I think a lot of people don't realize that he had a lot of, because they wanted to see that side of him.
Yeah.
They put
him in
those positions, and it was just like, we got to see him act up. We got to see him rage.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna make them money.
I think it was Juice.
Think Juice started it all?
I think it was the movie Juice, where he made his turn, because he wasn't that person before then.
No,
he wasn't that person before then.
No,
when he became Bishop, bruh,
it's like now he got to be Bishop in the
now
music.
I got to be Bishop in life.
Right.
You know, I think once we get to the nucleus of what we're dealing with here, even when we start to articulate it in our craft, it'll come out better.
I remember an interview with Gibb. Gibb said that, from Goody Mob, that he was on the verge. He was actually getting ready to leave Death Row to come to Atlanta because he was changing everything around. And Goody Mob was the one that inspired him to do that. Like, I got to get away from that environment and come to Atlanta and start a whole new thing. Unfortunately,
it didn't work.
He didn't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I definitely wanted to get back to the NBA because one of the things that really impressed me was when you came here that night, you have a knack for breaking down people's
business ideas
and putting together infrastructure and stuff like that. So going back to what you were saying before about you building your own business.
Yeah.
And now, do you do consulting for other businesses and stuff like that? So what is it like when you go into a place and your mind just start turning? Because that's exactly what happened when you came in here. It was just like, oh, I see this and this, and what about this and da da da. I was just like, bro, I just started working here. I have absolutely no idea what they plan on doing with this place.
It happens to me. I think that's another God thing. It's another God thing where when I start to love business, I can start seeing it like when Prince actually made music, he heard everything. When he started singing the song, he can hear everything while he was writing. He hear the music. With me, with business, I break it down. It's SWOT analysis is when I walk in. What's the strength? What's the weakness? What's the opportunity? Who's the threat? That's how I look at when I walk into any business.
Okay.
I was one thing that really took me over the edge and pressed me to push business like I am now. I have a lot of pastor friends, but I have one person. His name is Bishop Todd M. Hall Sr. Bishop Todd M. Hall, he prophesied to me years ago. I was here with my brother Bishop Antonio Rockamore from out of Chicago. We were having a prophetic conference here. And I had already decided that I was going to move out here and I was just going to try Georgia and just try farming and just try. And I was working in the church at the time with Bishop Rockamore, and Bishop Todd Hall pointed at me and he prophesied to Bishop Antonio Rockamore, and he said, "This man loves you." He said, "But he has to leave and come here." He said, "He has to come here." He said, "Because God has something for him to do here that he cannot do in Chicago." That solidified it for me.
Okay.
It was like,
so you was already thinking that?
I was thinking business. I knew I was coming out here for business. I was looking at houses when I came that week. I was looking for houses here. And he just prophesied to my life and said, "Hey," he wasn't even prophesying to me. He was prophesying to the other bishop who's my friend of 30 years. And he was like, he has to come here.
Okay.
He said there's business that God has him to do here and he cannot do it in Chicago. And when I heard that, I was like, thank you, God, got it.
Right.
And that struck me to say, everything that I'm doing here, I got to think in the mindset of business and saying that it's God ordained. So now my mind is business. When I wake up, it's, okay, God, I need you to give me two things. And it's a prayer that I give every day. I need direction and I need instruction.
Okay.
I need direction to know which way to go. I need instruction to know what to do when I get there. And I won't move unless God put me in that position. And in order for me to be successful in business, I got to be squared up with God.
Right.
And from that situation, it was a catalyst for me to look at everything, everywhere I go. God, what are you showing me? So as I went on, I ended up starting the Launchpad Solution.
Okay.
And that's a business. I'm doing business strategy. The Launchpad, the launchpadsolution.com is my business.
Okay.
I don't care if you're making t-shirts or if you're doing construction. When I talk to you, I want to know what your objective is.
Okay.
And whatever it is, I want to take your objective and I want to take your dream. And I want to bring them together and I'm going to give you the logistic way to get it done. And when I do it that way, you get people. I have a young guy who had some property from his family in Missouri. He lived in Chicago. And he was like, I got these 5 acres over here. What can I do? We sat down. I never went to Missouri with him. I gave him a whole plan. I said, this is what we're going to do. I did his applications. I did everything.
He already had an idea. Well, he already had a business that he wanted to do?
All he had was, no.
So he just had the 5 acres.
He said, I got 5 acres just sitting there. I said, if you got 5 acres sitting there, let's talk. So I created a farm for him. Doing the same thing I do. Let's get some sheep over there. Let's get this thing going. Let's make you some money. Let me get you some vendors. So when you start processing your meat, you'll have a place to sell them. I said, let's do that. It took us about 6 months to get it done. That was my first time doing it with them. And from there, it's a turnover. Now you bring me an idea and you tell me, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to tell you it's going to take time. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take money. And we'll get it done.
Wow.
I don't care what it is, man. I don't care what it is. If you have a business, you stand in front of me, we're gonna talk about it.
Right.
My lady say, I don't never meet a stranger. I'm gonna talk business.
So that's your business here. Like, how often do you go out and just like, are you searching for clients or anything like that, or is it just something that just comes to you?
A lot of people come to me.
Okay.
I do still search, but it becomes a little overwhelming because I'm still doing the farming. I'm still doing the consulting. I own a tax company, so I'm still doing taxes from January to almost January again. A lot of business clients. I've been doing taxes since 2002. So I have a lot of clients. So I'm stretched real thin. You got to have a good person on your side to help you when it comes to business. And LeVar Ball, that's Mellow Them Daddy, right?
Yeah.
He said, when I realized that I wanted my sons to play basketball, I then figured out, he said, I wanted my sons to play basketball. I figured out what type of woman I wanted. He said, because if I want my sons to play basketball, then I can't have a wife that's 5'2". I got to have a wife that's 5'10", 5'11". He said, if I have this person on my side with me, then we're going to duplicate what we are.
Okay.
So in business for me, my lady had to be a business person.
Right.
She had to be able to think like, okay, this is what you're doing. Okay, this is what we're doing.
Right.
She does business as well. So you have to get yourself in a space where you couple up and partner with somebody who's going to keep your vision going. That's why every time you turn around, it's business, business, business. I go to sleep to it. I wake up to it.
So what do you do for fun? Because I know at certain points it's like, all right, let me sit this down for a minute, refresh my brain, go out here and have some me time or some couple time or vacation time. Like,
I travel. I am a go out of the country guy. Okay. I'm gonna go wherever. I'm gonna go and experience culture. One of the best times I've ever had has been with. I have friends that own a travel agency here in Georgia. Okay. They're called Paper Planes and Passports. I'm always gonna shout out my people.
Okay.
This is Chanticleer and Erica Graham. Paper Planes and Passports. They take you out of the country. They give you the best experiences that you've ever had. They want you to embrace the culture wherever you are. I remember going to Colombia with them, and we went to a place called Paranqua. It's an African village, and we like eating with these people, and we're watching a dance school. I do stuff like that, but every single day, I'm gonna play Madden. Every single day. I played Madden before I came here this morning.
Really?
I played maybe 8 games of Madden a day. That's my chill time.
Your chill time.
I got a horse at home. I'm throwing a saddle on him. That's my chill time. I'm a lover boy now. You know, get with my lady. I want to just spend time with her. That's my chill time. Talk with my kids. Like my daughter, my 2 sons. I have a younger daughter. Being able to have conversations with them makes me feel like good. That's my me time, to see my youngest son, who everybody say he act more like me than his mom. Sitting and spend time with him, being able to build things with my middle son. That's my good time, man.
Right. So are they following your footsteps as far as business and stuff, or they just have their own path and you're just helping them?
So my daughter, she's following her own path, but it is she's an esthetician, so it's business related. That's what she does. That she loves.
What's an esthetician?
Eyebrows, nails, skin, that type of thing. Yeah. She does that. She lives out in Indiana with her mom. My oldest son, he's going into the Army in 2 weeks, so he'll be going to the Army, but it'll be engineering. That's my thing. Building things. My youngest son, he's music, which is me, but he works for a company out here. Been working there since he got here about 3 years. It's called Millhouse. They deal with construction sites and all that, but they understand the project here. The project isn't forever. Okay. Some people look like, you got a farm that's gonna be that's like forever. That's for you to pass down to your sons. My sons have their dreams. Right. My kid, all they have their own dreams. And so when I build it, I'm not building like, I'm gonna pass this to my son. I'm gonna pass this to my grandson. Well, I can't pass it to my grandson if my son doesn't embrace it. Right. My son has his dream. You do your dreams. I'm gonna support you in that. This will be here. We'll have some time here. If need be, it'll be here. And if you decide to come back to it, then that's fine. But they're embracing enough to help me. We're gonna get out there. We're gonna build fences. We're gonna catch sheep. If you ever in your life want to work out,
trying to catch a sheep.
So
they're not in the fence already? Or?
They're fenced in, but you got to catch them and give them like different things. Sometimes you got to check their health. So you want to catch them. Even when you go to process them, you got to catch this sheep. Catching the sheep is like chasing a chicken the size of a dog.
Jesus, I didn't even think they even run that fast.
They run fast, but they're quicker than they are fast.
So their agility is
all day long, man. You talking about Walter Payton with like, what's his name? What's that he would know, the big guy, the big running back from New York. It wasn't Ahmad Bradshaw. It was Brandon Jacobs, I think his name was, something like that. Big, huge. He was a huge guy, but he was able to move. That's how it is trying to catch a sheep, man.
Wow. When you said that, think about Rocky. That first scene, right when he had to catch this. Yep. Wow.
It's tough, man. Farming taught me some things. It taught me that I need to, it's not like any other business. Farming says to me that I need to first learn how to save money, because there is a sowing and there's a reaping time.
Okay.
And in between the sowing and reaping time, there's no finances. Okay. So you have to be able to save money and learn how to make money everywhere else until harvest time. Oftentimes, harvest time will be 1, 2, 3 times a year. But it taught me that you have to be able to mitigate your expenses and save money.
So with all the farming laws and things like that are happening around here in Georgia and in the country, like, what have been some of the pushbacks that you realize, like, okay, this is not exactly what I thought it was going to be? Because a lot of farms are like, they're cutting them out. And they're not really promoting a lot of that as much anymore.
There's a reason why they don't promote it.
Why is that?
They don't. Have you ever seen a real estate company say, "Hey, come purchase this home. It has oil underneath the ground"?
Not much. I haven't paid.
You won't do that, because if a real estate company finds a house that has oil coming from out of the ground, they're gonna keep it for themselves.
Right.
In farming, there is so much money in agriculture. America runs by it. All these tariffs and everything else. Yeah. Straight farming. Okay. If we have to produce here in America, in opposed to getting food from outside of America, the money stays in America. You make much more money. You're making millionaires. You have, and I don't really like talking a lot of politics with people, because my perspective on politics is totally different. I've seen Chicago politics. It's totally different than what I feel is a norm for the people. But right now you have the Department of the administration looking at the Department of Agriculture and say, hey, we want to take all these preservatives out of food. We want to take out the dyes. We want these kids to have healthier snacks. We want to take, if you have public assistance. We want to take away that you can buy pop. Go buy some juicy juice, some fresh juice for these kids. When you see stuff like that, then you see that there's going to be a turn where food has to be in an abundance. Healthy food, organic food. And when I heard that, when I started hearing that, it says, hey, I can grow food and go right to the source and sell it. Right. So they have programs like the farm to restaurants, the farm to school programs, those programs where the farmers markets where people come in and purchase food from you because they want healthy ideas. Now the government is embracing it more. Okay. And so it's for me, the money is there. I set people up through all type of USDA programs.
Oh, really? I
set them up. I'm going to walk through the applications with you. I'm going to tell you what you need to be fully funded. I do all that stuff so that you get your farm up and going. That's part of my Launchpad, the Launchpad solution. Okay. I'm going to teach you. I don't care if you got a quarter of an acre. We're going to make that to a farm.
Really? So you are promoting more people to have their own.
I want you to have your farm.
Okay.
I'm on social media. I'm on TikTok. AJ Smith 93. Okay. And it's farming and the word. It's all about farming and me walking and reading the Bible. That's all I do. Really? So I'm going to do farming and I'm going to stick to the word because if I'm doing the two of those things, I'm in my purpose. So that's what I do. That's what I promote. So you get people who are like, man, I want to farm. I want to do this. I want to do that. And whenever anybody inbox me or talk to me anything, I'm always going to say, let me help you. Because if you really want to do this, it's going to be hard, but I help you.
You know, this is great that you're doing that because, you know, me being down here in the South growing up, my grandmothers, great-grandmothers, that was their thing. Like, someone always had land. It was a farm where they had their own chickens and goats and cows and things like that. And then, you know, over time, people just got more and more, you know, cityfied and, you know, grocery stores was it. But mostly back in the day, they had to have their own farm, you know, here in the South, you know.
There's a negative thought that floats around the black community when it comes to farming. It goes back to slavery. It goes to sharecropping. It goes to us being less than. So if you know, a lot of people from the South migrated to the North, to the Midwest, because they wanted to get away from that. Because at the time we weren't treated fairly at all. Right. There's still some spaces where we're not being treated fairly. But you have to force them, and when I say them, it's the powers that be, it's whoever it is that's stopping you. You have to force them to give you whatever it is that's on the table. You can't disqualify me. Because if I do everything the right way, the way that you say it should be done, then I fit all the prerequisites and you're going to give me this money. Right. And that's what I do for people. I'm going to tell you, they can't tell you that you can't have that. I don't care what your county told you. Go to the USDA. We're going to get you together. Really? So, yeah. I tell people, you know what? This is the key thing that always surprises people. The difference between me being a farmer and you being a farmer is $1,000.
That's it?
It's $1,000 from your home. As long as you're making $1,000 in a year on something that you've grown from your home, be it you didn't produce sheep, chicken eggs, lettuce, whatever it is. You go to USDA, they say, have you grown and have you made $1,000 on your business? You say, yes. Here's a farm number. You're a farmer.
Get out of here.
That's it.
That's it.
And from there, of course, there's a whole foundation that you got to build and everything. But it takes nothing. But we have to really do the work. Yeah. Man, I'm tired. Yesterday, I was tilling and putting down fabric, and we were working yesterday.
So with the sheep, are you doing anything with the wool as well? Or?
So I have hair sheep. So you have hair sheep and you have wool sheep. Your hair sheep, they shed like dogs. Okay. But you get the most meat out of them. Okay. You know, so my animal's only for meat.
I never even known that. Yeah. I thought I'm looking at the regular sheep with the wool.
There's different sheep out there. Yeah. Oh, okay. So all I do is meat, man. That's all I do is pause. All I do is create. I gotta pause, man. Cam and Mace, they got me, bro. I love them.
I was about to say that earlier, but you was on a rant.
You should have paused me. You should have paused me.
No.
Listen, I just shared the video.
You was like, yeah. You know, when I do my meat and I ain't gonna say that.
I try to catch myself sometimes because I gotta say my lamb, but all I'm doing is putting out lamb meat, man, and that's all I want to do. And that actually has an expiration. I'm only gonna be doing lamb meat until I get on a large production, and then I'm gonna retire again.
Really?
Yeah.
So I know you said the food truck and stuff like that you have coming down the pipeline as well.
The food truck will be hoping January. Okay. We should be on the move. But that's why I'm gonna introduce Atlanta to some good lamb. Pull it up.
Yeah, you definitely introduced us because I was just like, man, this is swinging right here. It wasn't even just the lamb by itself. It was just the combination of the spice and the sauce and all that, like the whole flavor of it all. And then we was talking about pairing a good cigar to what Miguel was talking about. So we definitely gonna be looking and doing some work, real soon in the future, man. Because this cigar lounge that we in, Cigar Bank, man, we definitely want to bring a lot of, and that was the one thing that I really wanted to do when I started working here, was to start the podcast, because
I like it.
I'm just like you. I'm an introvert. I'm not someone that talk to a lot of people. Like, I could, if we're in a room and if I don't have a camera in my hand, not to be on some sedity type of thing, I really don't feel the need to talk to anybody. It's just kind of like, okay, I'm in the room. I'm more of a watcher. I'm more of a, like, I'd rather be a voyeur and just look at the room, look at the space. That's how my dad always taught me when I was growing up. He was one of those, he wasn't a gangster or like he wasn't in the, but he was always in the streets. He was always in the juke joint, some club or something like that. Joints. So he was always telling me about, every time you go into a club or an establishment or a party or something like that, the first thing you do, you stand there and you look around. You get a hold of your surroundings first. Yeah. You see who's with who's doing what, the characteristics of these people, because he was like, the one thing you don't want to do, and he used to go down like Fitzgerald and like places down in the South, away from Macon, because that's where we're from. And he was just like, man, him and his friends would go to these little clubs in the middle of the country. And he was just like, you could be in there having a drink, and then all of a sudden some woman come and start talking to you. He was like, you don't know, she might be like trying to set you up or make some other guy mad that's in the room. Next thing you know, y'all fighting because she just want to make him jealous.
We saw the movie Life.
Yeah,
we saw Life.
And so he just always taught me that. So that was always been my thing, just growing up, was just always check your surroundings wherever you are. And so going back to my point of, just wanting to sit back and just create what I'm doing here in this space. Like, this is the way I network. So if I come across someone who's really interesting and they got a story to tell, you want to come and sit down on the podcast and tell me about it? Because that's an interesting story. Because from what you told me in the first time we met, just being a shepherd, I was interested in knowing that. But we've unpacked so much, your background with religion. And it all comes together when you shepherd, and then your religion and stuff like that, your teachings, and then just knowing all of the other stuff, the background with the fatherhood, it's just like, you just never know who's coming in here. It's not always about, just sitting down and just having a cigar, but, these are very interesting people that have something to offer the world. And, the thing about being in the cigar lounge is that you meet so many different, like, business-minded people. It's not like being in a regular club where you're just there for the music, the drink, the women, and all that kind of stuff.
The new golf course.
The new golf course. That's exactly what a cigar lounge is, because so many people done told me, like, even Diaro was telling me in there, most of the time, man, he would smoke a cigar when he loves to play golf. So he would be smoking a cigar, playing golf, and then he would break down a cigar to somebody. Next thing you know, he's making a business deal with somebody, because he didn't know that person was the general manager of this place or that place. And then, they come here and now they're networking with other people as well. So that was one of the things that I definitely wanted to do when I got here, was like, okay, I'm gonna use my skills or what I know how to do to sit down and, talk with interesting people, You're doing well with it. I always like to give guys, I don't want to use that term because I fought against the whole give guys their flowers thing. I like to give them their accolades and say that you did well. The creativity in this space, you're doing well with. The idea, you're doing well with. As we move forward,
we always get better as long as we're not giving up.
Right.
You keep moving forward, you keep getting better, you'll start seeing your business grow, you start seeing your creative drive grow.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you'll be in a place where people are just loving to talk to you.
Right.
They're like, hey man, let me come and sit down on your couch and talk to you about this idea, that idea.
Yeah.
This place is a great place. It reminds me, so I'm from Chicago, and let me say this, and I want to just clarify it. Because sometimes people say, he was talking about he loved God and he over there smoking a cigar. I still love God.
Yeah.
I'm still going to sit here and talk to you about scripture. I'm still going to tell you that I talk to him every single day. I'm still going to tell you that I listen for God all day. I'm always going to say that because people will try to ostracize you because, he smoked a cigar. Guess what else I just had? I also had a soda. And it's full of sugar.
Right.
I also ate a bunch of chicken the other day, and that was gluttonous. I tell people like, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
But one thing that you point out was that you go in the room, you don't say much, you just kind of sit around.
Yeah.
And I learned that a lot of times you don't talk until somebody asks you a question.
Right.
You could have your ideas. I think Bishop Todd Hall said this one day. He was like, he said, if I'm in a room and they're talking about a bunch of things, I keep my thoughts to myself until you ask me. Right. Now, if you ask me, be ready for the answer.
Right.
But I'm not just gonna push my thought pattern, my perspective on you. And that's what we should do as people.
Right.
It allows you to be free of expression.
Right.
Some people will say I talk too much. My thought is I don't talk unless I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's me too.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah. But then you're gonna sit there and be like, man, why he look so mean and mad? I don't know nothing to say here. You're doing well here though. And the talk, this is talk therapy. And I pray that you have these couches filled, because I'm looking in here and man, I'm gonna look at it as a business.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and seeing me and you talking, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chairs here. And to have a microphone in front of a group of guys, this is the new roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
And we get to talk, and it's not always about sports. It's sometimes it's about, hey man, I'm having an issue where I haven't dealt with my old lady right.
Yeah.
I haven't handled my kid right.
Yeah.
And I want to hear the perspective from the guys, because how I was raised, we supposed to be like this. But man, tell me, how do I come back from infidelity in my relationship?
Right.
What have any of you guys experienced that? That's what I see here.
That was actually, so when I first started getting into podcasting, this was before Black people was ever into even knowing what podcasting was. This is maybe almost like 20 years ago.
Sheesh. Okay.
The idea was called Minds of Men.
Okay.
And it was basically just to get Black men together and sit down and talk about issues that we don't normally hear Black men talk about.
Yes.
Because again, we keep everything close to the chest and we keep everything bottled inside, so you never really hear our opinions or experiences when it comes to infidelity and how to get through those. Or like, I would love to sit down and talk with someone one day who just gave me the lowdown, like, I was married, I cheated, I did all these horrible things, I'm trying to learn how to get better. You know what I mean? Like, women, they have those outlets to express themselves on a regular basis, and they're not even judged by it, they're actually encouraged. We, on the other hand, we come from that culture of not being encouraged to be vulnerable. It's always like your dad, the hugging and stuff that y'all was doing. Yeah. He would show that he didn't like it, but he really did.
Yeah, he did. Don't stop being gay on me. Stop being gay on you, dude.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. But he loved it. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing that, I really like for men to get a sense of, it's okay to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be pussies about it. But at the same time, we all have that side where things are just not going that well. We all have our low moments, and we need that brotherhood to understand what we're going through and then how to get over that.
And we're not doing it by ourselves. We're not doing it alone.
And we actually feel good about that when we find out, I'm not the only one that's going through that. And then that's how a lot of the bonding happened through understanding that, there's other people that went through low moments as well.
You got to find your group though. You got to find your people.
Yeah.
I have
have a tribe. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have your people where you can sit and cry with as a guy.
Yeah.
I told you I had a friend of 30 years, Antonio Rockamore. I remember sitting and having a conversation with him, and tears are falling because at that moment, I didn't heard enough music in my on my way to church where I missed my dad.
Yeah.
And now how I'm responding is in a lowly place, and you can pick up on that. Like, man, you good? Yeah. And now we talking, and I'm crying because I miss my dad.
Right.
And this is 12, 13, 14 years later.
Right.
I have my friend Thaddeus Searcy out in Chicago. He's a pastor at Freedom Ministries. I get on the phone with him, and I realize we're going through the same thing, bruh.
Right.
He going through it on the front end. I'm on the tail end of it. I've already come out of it. And the way me and you gonna make it through is by me talking to you until you can get here, and me talking to somebody else and they say, hey, no, you're gonna get here, you're gonna be all the way out of it.
Right.
That's what the circle for.
And that's going back to what I was saying about the young guys, man. Like, they're going through it at the moment when they're young. They're not realizing that it is gonna pass.
It's gonna pass.
And if they just live long enough, they will understand that passing. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing, like, my mom and my dad had me when they was in early high school.
Okay.
And the stigma of having kids so young was, a bad thing. But at the same time, I'm grateful that they had me so young, because I grew up seeing my grandmother being young, or young woman, having to navigate with 4 kids. My grandmother on my dad's side having to navigate with 7 kids or 8 kids. And my mom and dad being kids themselves, my uncles being kids themselves.
Absolutely.
Kids to teenagers to fathers and mothers to husbands and wives, and then their kids having kids, and just seeing like all these generations of how to navigate through and learning. And I used to tell my wife this all the time, because she was like, you never seem like you're bothered by a lot of things. And I was just like, because I've seen, no matter what bad things you go through, even in death, you get past those things and healing happens. Healing happens. Yeah. Now you can still have some internal healing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, some bad scarring.
Yeah.
But it stays scarred if you don't want it to heal.
It's true.
But if you want it to heal, you can help yourself to get past that. Now, life itself is going to go on.
It is.
Regardless.
Just said that yesterday. Life
is going to go on regardless, but it's your choice if you want to move on with life moving on as well.
Yeah.
That's your choice. Now, it's a lot of people that they'll still just let the scars hit them. Just like, I'm still going to just keep picking this wound every year, every day, and it get infected, and they, you gotta
heal again.
You gotta heal again. Yeah.
We have to get to the point where we close the wounds, heal the wound, then heal the scars. Because there was some type of agent, I don't even know what they called it, but it was, you rubbed it on, like if you had a scar from surgery, and it'll make the scar go away. We have to learn how to heal the wound and then heal the scar.
Right.
And that's the very mature place where you be when you start healing scars. Because the scar says, it ain't the gunshot wound, but now when I look at myself in the mirror, I remember the gunshot.
Yeah.
But if I get the scar away, if I get rid of the scar, then there's no memory of the gunshot wound, unless I intentionally think on it.
Right.
Yeah. We have to get to that point all across the board.
Right.
Even our young guys, they're dealing with scars of parenting, bad parenting. I'm gonna put it on the parents every time, because I love my children, and I put my time in with my children, and I've taken hits for my children like all parents should do. And if I didn't, then they'll see you'll see what you have out here now: the parentless, the fatherless, the motherless, the deadbeat mom and the deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
And you'll find yourself raising this what they call the YN.
The YN.
The YNs. The YNs are the young niggas.
Oh yeah.
That's what the YNs are, the young niggas.
Yeah.
And I don't want to raise YNs.
Right.
I did 15 years as doing football in Chicago, youth football. I've seen kids that started at 5 years old, ended up in prison by the age of 14. I've seen kids 5 years old started football. Right now, there's a kid that's going to Tennessee. I think he's going to Tennessee Tennessee University, I think that's what they call it. His name is Legend Bay. I seen him at 5 years old when he first started playing football. They're comparing him to Michael Vick right now. One of the best quarterbacks. He had maybe 30 offers for schools out here. I got a kid who I coached. Got to coach him a couple of years. I feel good about it. He plays for Dallas right now. Okay. Ryan Flournoy, from the Flournoy family. His father and mother, really good parents. And you saw that, because you saw the parenting and raising the kids. Right. When you take away that parenting aspect, that father aspect, people get mad about some stuff that's been said in social media. Right. The big thing about Charlie Kirk. Oh, he's racist. He made a very good point. He said the 50s were better for the black families than now. He said, and the reason why I say that, and a lot of people take away the reason, no, that's racist. It was slavery. It was this. The reason why I said that was because the black father was in the home. That was his reason. He said it. You can't take the snippet away and not. He said the reason is because then they had the black father in the home. They had family. He said, and since the black father has been gone, he said, this is not me going against anything. I'm just saying it. He said, homosexuality has gone up in a household because the only identity that the boy has is with his mom, and femininity and dealing with emotions. Right. And he said that crime has gone up in the black family. And you can look at it how you want to. Right. When you look at it with that as the thought pattern, the perspective, we really do make a difference when we're in the household.
Oh yeah.
So now when they look at Charlie Kirk and say, oh, he racist, anybody can be racist, anybody, black, white, or other, you can say whatever you want to. Everybody eat the meat and spit out the bone. He said this, and it makes sense. Right. So for me, parenting is what made the kid that was 5 years old playing football and then going to prison at 14. Parenting is what made Ryan Flournoy from 5 years old going into the NFL and playing, and had a heck of a week last week. Just to let you know, 100-some odd yards. That was good for you, Ryan. Yeah. You picked up 140-some yards. I'm proud of you. And but it's the parenting, and we have to get back into parenting with love, with discipline,
and with some respect, because definitely, we all needed a James Evans in the house. We all needed a James Evans in the house, man.
That's it. Good times for y'all who don't know. Yeah. For the ones who too young to know good times.
Yeah, we all needed a James Evans. I mean, he didn't have all the money.
He didn't.
He was a little hot-headed and stuff like that, but his morals and his standards was like, y'all ain't finna go out here and do all this other stuff. And I think the thing also that I'm gonna make 2 points is, having, like, we're not gonna be perfect at it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no perfect way of doing it, but you still standing on your morals.
Yeah.
Standing on morals. Like, we all know what's good and what's bad to do.
Yeah.
We do know that.
Absolutely.
That much. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so just standing on the morals, like, hey, and that's a point that I wanted to bring up from earlier, what you were saying when you said your dad went in, and some of his friends who were still in the streets, in the gangs, but they were still giving you like lessons of, we don't want to see you doing this.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I noticed that these young guys, they don't have that.
No.
Like the bad guy, I remember that happening to me. Like, even though I wasn't out there in the streets or anything like that, I still had some of my uncle's friends or my dad's friends who I know was going out there doing dirt. They would still be there. They'll be counting up their money from selling this and selling that, but they'd be like, hey, we don't want to see you doing this. And I would just sit back and thinking, like, man, what are these young guys? Like, they don't have nobody to tell them that. Like, I know we're doing it.
Yeah.
But we don't want to see you doing it. Now, we might not have an answer of what else you can do, but we respected the OGs enough to know, like, if the OG said that they don't want to see us doing it on the streets, we're not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do it.
No.
And I think also, not just young black men, but just young black women, just young people, learn how to take an L.
Take an L.
Learn how to take an L. A L does not mean that you've lost everything. It just, in this moment,
you gotta humble yourself.
Yeah. It's a lesson to be learned. Yeah. What is the lesson to be learned?
What's the lesson? Yeah.
What is the lesson to be learned? Instead of your ego, which I get it, your ego and your pride and all that stuff got hurt in the moment, but in the long run, what is the lesson to be learned? Because if you don't learn that lesson, then you're going to prison.
And you're going to keep repeating that same fight.
Some don't even repeat it. They just go 6 feet under and that's it.
It's horrible, but because with the point you were making about being able to learn from your L's, some people walk in their L's. I'm gonna walk in my L's, and this is who I am, because they're embarrassed by it.
Right.
They never become humble with it. I was married. I tell people I was married for almost 18 years. I made some mistakes in that marriage, and I have to walk in that. If I walked in that right now, every person that I dealt with behind that marriage gonna get exactly what I gave in that marriage. They're gonna get that L. But I have to look at myself and say, okay, what I learned from there.
Right.
Oh, I was controlling. Shoot. Why was I controlling? Oh, I was insecure. Why was I insecure?
Right.
Because I have abandonment issues. What do I do with my abandonment issues? Go to therapy.
Right.
You know, you got to start attacking what caused your L. When Mike Tyson, favorite boxer in the world,
right?
Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. It hurt my soul. It hurt my soul because he had always been my hero.
Right.
And when I watched the fight, he didn't even prepare for him. As a matter of fact, he didn't prepare. Not only did he not prepare, his corner didn't even prepare. They didn't even have ice for him in the corner. So he's getting beat on. His eyes are closing, and they can't even treat him. His corner is not prepared for what he's doing right now. You have to take that L and learn from next time. I need to have my corner prepared, and I need to watch this next person,
right,
to see what actually happens. Now that was Buster Douglas's. That was his day.
And again, they didn't do their research and knowing that Buster Douglas, well, he had just lost his mom, so he was angry. So he had some extra fire.
Oof. Come! If you would have dealt with me when my father had just died, I would have killed you.
Yeah,
I would have had nothing inside of me to say, "Hey, this man could probably kill me at any other time," but because I had that rage in me, that's what happened with Buster.
Yeah,
and he took down my hero, man. Mike Tyson, if you actually get to see this, I'll let you know. You are my favorite athlete ever in the world. I love LeBron James, Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago, yada, yada, yada. Mike Tyson, out of everybody, it's my favorite all time. Who yours?
Actually, mine would be more so Samuel Jackson.
Celebrity.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. If you do the research on Samuel Jackson when he first started out, you'll see.
Coming to America.
Yeah.
Before.
I mean, even back when he was School Days.
Sheesh.
School Days.
I forgot about School Days.
School Days. Yeah. He was the one that what was it? Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was one of the guys in there that was trying to tease the college kids.
Okay. Yeah.
That whole thing right there.
I didn't watch School Days as much as I did House Party.
That's the thing I like about Samuel Jackson, was that he's been in the game for so long, doing all these little bit parts here and there, that you just like, he was in that? He did that?
I got the dance for you, mama.
Yeah. Just like, I take it back even further. Raw. Eddie Murphy Raw.
Okay, bring me up to speed, because I watched it when we wasn't supposed to, because we was kids. First of all, you shouldn't have been watching it when it came out.
Like I said, we weren't always perfect. Parents weren't always perfect growing up, man.
So
Raw, right? What was it? What happened in the beginning of Raw? What was going on?
He told the joke about him, and he kicked him in the ding ding. That he was sitting in front of his family, and he was telling a joke. I got a joke to tell.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Samuel Jackson was in there.
Who was the uncle?
I never paid attention.
That was Samuel Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, he was the one egging him on like that was good.
Now I got to watch it again.
That was Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, I want to be one of those when you really see me successful doing, you're gonna be like, man, he was doing that 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Like, I've been that silent, just patiently waiting on
your turn.
Sometimes it ain't even like that big hit. It's just you got to, like you said earlier, you just got to be consistent in doing your thing, and then the world will catch up to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to keep going.
Yeah.
The world is moving. The world. You are like a character in the Spike Lee movie, where the picture is here and everything around you is moving.
Yeah.
And when you focus like that and keep doing what you're doing in consistency, the whole story, the whole movie is gonna come together.
Yep.
Yeah, those are bits and pieces that you didn't get to see. People don't think about with Spike Lee. Like, he stopped the whole world, and it's like, especially remember the Malcolm X scene?
Yeah.
When he was going to the mosque to this is the last time he went to go speak. He was walking down the street, and he just like he's in the zone.
Yeah, he was in the zone because he just knew something was about to happen. Yeah,
and all around him, the world is moving. The world is always moving.
Yeah.
Focus.
Well, we're gonna leave it right there, man. That was
absolutely, man.
This was a really good talk, bro.
Man, listen, bro. If you want to grab a couple of guys and we do some talking,
we're gonna do this again,
bro.
Yeah.
We got mad people out here in Georgia, who are successful, who have great stories. I have a cousin that has a tattoo shop right around the corner.
Okay.
It's called he's the big CO. He's the big CO. Man, I can't remember his Corey Connell is his name.
Okay.
Here, he's a tattoo artist. All right, cousin, my bad. I could not remember your Instagram name, but Corey Connell, he's right over here by the square. But he does tattoos, but he has a great story that he could sit back and talk with. He's real cool, calm, and collective. Yeah, he smokes cigars.
Okay.
Even
if he don't, but still, bring him in.
He smokes. So, he smokes. He smokes. But you got guys like him. You got guys like my friend Francis Franco, who sit back. He won't talk much, but he can throw nuggets at you. Here, you got some great pastors out here. Some great preachers.
I would love to sit down with some pastors,
bro. What's his name? Pastor Dewey Smith. One of the greatest people out here. I love Dewey Smith. My family used to go to his church.
Okay.
He's out here quite a bit. You got Bishop Luther McKinstry that's out here. You got guys out here that you can sit and have great conversation with. That's gonna be like, oh yeah. We came, we put something on the table, and we left with a solution.
Yeah.
We want to be solution based when we talk. I don't want to just come here and we beat up each other and we leave out with the same perspective. I want to leave out and say, you know what? When he talked about this, maybe I can apply that instead of that, and I'll get a different turnout.
I'm gonna come up with a nice little theme that we can, because I definitely want to come back up with.
Call me any day, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, come down to the farm, man.
Yes, I definitely want to do that.
Come to the farm.
I want to come to the farm. I want to film the farm.
We'll put some food out. Put out some tables. We can sit outside. We can watch football outside.
Yeah.
I can make a big pot of that chili. We can make some burgers. I got jerk lamb tacos too. I just ain't put y'all on that. But come out to the farm, hang out. We get to talk, throw some smoke in the air.
Yeah.
And just get together and just talk. That's what we need to do.
What we were just talking about, maybe we could do that on the farm.
I'll do that.
I'll do that. Food and just.
I'll do that.
Just talk, just men just sitting down, just talking about some life, man.
We can do that. Let's set that up. Let's talk more. You got my number. You got my text. This is a relationship now, bro.
Yeah, man.
So we locked in.
We in there.
We locked in. I might pop up on y'all and say, hey, man, I had a couple of more burgers on the food truck. Hey, man, here you go. That type of thing. So let's go, man.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man.
This was
Thank
great.
you. Because I know you said you got to get home and get some football.
Man, we got to get some football, man. We gotta get to some football.
Hey, that was the thing he kept saying, like, hey man, let's go ahead and do this early because I gotta, got football time.
And look, I'll be home for the 3:00, 4:00 games. That's what I'm going to my cousin's house. So we have a good time, man. This was great. I can't wait to come here. I want to support you guys here.
Yes, please.
Any events that comes here, I like to bring food. I like to get in that kitchen. I like to do some things.
Yeah, that's definitely Micaiah when she gets here. Definitely, I want you to meet her because she's putting together, like, the last event was really nice. And so just pairing your dishes with the cigars and just do a whole that'd be nice. And
shout out to Chef Alexander who was here.
Chef,
I met Chef
at
what is it called and Cheese one day, and we sat down and talked. We talked about his book. It was pretty dope. He's a dude. How food saved his life.
Yes.
Dope dude.
Great.
Dope dude. It's some good chefs out here. There's places out here that's being created for things like this. People who are putting restaurants together like ghost kitchens. They can bring you in and you sit and talk and get some podcasts going, get some food videos going. I didn't run into everybody out here, bro.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I was out at the Falcon Stadium a couple of weeks ago, sitting down and doing tastings and talking with Chef Lamont from Spellman, talking to Chef Chanel from the Falcons. it was another chef that was there. It was a bunch of chefs. We just sat around and talked, and they're bringing in ideas. Get some chefs in here, man. Have some conversations. They do a lot of stuff, bro.
Man, it's just funny that the last couple of interviews I did was centered around food.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It was definitely centered around food.
Man, you put something at me, man. Let me know. I got contacts. I'm not being braggadocious, but I talk to everybody.
But that's the whole point
of
this, and even where we're at the Cigar Bank.
This place got a lot of music out here.
Yeah.
So get some music out here, because we didn't even touch Donny Hathaway, man. And that's the greatest artist ever for me. My son and I had an argument
every time
night.
I hear This Christmas. This Christmas?
It's past that, man. It's so many songs in the song Giving Up. All this type of music, man.
We're gonna do this again.
Well, come on, let's do it. And man, it was good talking to you,
brother.
Man. Much love to you, my brother.
All right.
Appreciate it. Make sure you get good, man.
Yeah, man. All right, man. I'll check out on the next one.
Yes.
Later.
Deuce.